Welcome to Funimation 3D, kids and family cartoon, where magical legends come alive in bright colors, joyful music, and warm stories full of meaning. Today, we'll travel to an old Vietnamese village to hear a tale about love so powerful that it turned a mother into a stork. A story that reminds us that a mother's heart knows no limits. Long ago, in a quiet countryside surrounded by endless green rice fields, there lived a poor woman and her little boy. Their house was a small bamboo hut by the riverbank, covered with leaves that whispered when the wind passed by. Every morning, the mother carried a woven basket on her back, stepping barefoot through the soft mud, searching for snails, small fish, or wild vegetables to feed her son. She worked hard from sunrise to sunset, never complaining, always smiling when she saw her boy's bright eyes. Life was difficult, yet she found happiness in small things. The laughter of her child, the smell of cooked rice, and the songs of birds above the river. Her boy was gentle and kind, just like her. Sometimes, when he saw his mother come home tired, he would run to hug her and say, "Mother, when I grow up, I'll work hard and buy you delicious food every day." She smiled softly and stroked his hair, whispering, "My dear, kindness and love will make your heart stronger than gold." But one summer, the sky forgot to rain. The sun burned the earth every day, and the fields cracked like broken pottery. The rivers dried up, leaving only patches of sticky mud. Without water, no rice could grow. Fish disappeared. The poor villagers suffered hunger, and the mother's hut became silent at night, except for her son's weak cough. Still, she refused to give up. She wandered far from the village, her feet bleeding from walking on sharp stones, searching for anything to eat. Sometimes she found just a single snail, sometimes a handful of tiny crabs. She boiled them into soup for her son and pretended to eat too, though her stomach ached from hunger. Her eyes grew thinner, her skin darker, but her heart burned with love. Every night she would whisper, "Please, heaven, let my son live. I'll take all the hunger for him." One afternoon, she walked to a pond on the edge of the village. There she saw a rich man catching fish with a large net. The pond was full of life, and the smell of fresh fish made her dizzy. Gathering her courage, she approached and bowed deeply. "Good sir," she said gently, "could you please give me a few small fish? My child hasn't eaten in 2 days." The rich man looked at her with cold eyes and laughed cruelly. "Why should I share my catch with a beggar like you? Go away before I chase you off." He lifted a stick and pushed her into the muddy water. She fell, her face covered with mud, her hands shaking. The people nearby pretended not to see, afraid of the man's power. She knelt there, weak and humiliated, tears falling silently into the pond. Looking up at the sky, she whispered, "If only I had wings, I would fly anywhere to find food for my child. I would never let him starve." Her voice faded into the wind. That night, under the silver moon, she sat alone by the riverbank. The air was quiet, except for the soft sound of frogs in the distance. She looked at her reflection trembling on the dark water and spoke softly, "Oh heaven, please hear me. I don't care what happens to me. Just let my son survive." Suddenly, the wind changed. The moonlight grew brighter, wrapping her in a soft, white glow. A gentle voice, calm and echoing, filled the air. "Your love is pure. Your heart is selfless. From now on, you shall have wings, to search for food wherever it may be." Her body trembled as warmth spread through her chest. Her arms stretched and grew feathers. Her feet turned long and thin. Her hair became white like clouds. Startled, she stood up, or tried to, but her body felt light. She spread her arms and gasped. They were no longer arms. They were wings. She had turned into a stork, pure and white under the moonlight. At first, she was frightened, but when she felt the air lift her body, she realized what the heavens had done. They had given her the power to fly, to find food, to care for her son. She flapped her wings and soared into the night sky, flying over rivers and fields. The wind whispered through her feathers as she looked down at the world below, glowing in moonlight. Her heart filled with hope. She searched lakes, streams, and faraway marshes for fish and frogs. Every time she caught something, she carried it gently in her beak and flew back to her old home. There, by the small hut, she left food near the door before sunrise, watching from a distance as her little boy woke up and found it. The boy clapped his hands happily. "Oh, thank you, kind stork. You always bring me something to eat." The bird cried softly, her heart breaking, yet filled with joy. Though she could never speak again, her love reached him through the quiet gifts she left each day. Seasons passed, rain returned, and the fields turned green again. The boy grew stronger, working in the fields, helping other villagers, always kind to everyone. Yet he never forgot the mysterious white stork that had saved his life. The villagers often saw the bird standing on one leg by the river, gazing toward the huts, as if guarding something precious. Some said the stork was the spirit of a mother. Others said it was a heavenly being sent to bless the poor. But deep down, the boy felt something more, a familiar warmth in the way the stork looked at him. Years went by. The boy became a man, but the stork still visited the village, landing on rooftops or walking gracefully across the rice fields. She never harmed anyone, never stole a grain of rice. She only stayed near the poor huts and the small ponds, feeding on tiny fish. The people began to respect her. They told their children, "Don't harm the stork. She is a mother's soul, gentle and kind." And so, the stork became a symbol of love and sacrifice in Vietnamese hearts, the image of a mother who gives everything without expecting anything in return. Whenever the man saw a white stork flying above the golden fields, his eyes filled with tears. He whispered, "Thank you, mother, wherever you are." The bird would circle above him, her cry echoing softly across the valley, as if answering. The sound of wings blended with the wind, carrying an invisible message, a love that never ends. Time flowed like the river. The man grew old, and generations came after him, but the story of the stork lived on. Parents told their children, once a mother loved her child so much that even heaven turned her into a bird to feed him. Children looked at the storks flying in the sky and waved, believing each bird might be a loving mother watching over her children. And that is why, even today, when you walk through Vietnamese fields and see a stork flying gracefully across the sunset, you should remember this legend. Behind those white wings lies a heart full of sacrifice, a love that crossed the line between human and spirit. A mother's love never fades. It only finds new wings to keep protecting those she cherishes. So the next time you see a stork standing quietly in the rice fields, think of her not just as a bird, but as a symbol of kindness, courage, and endless devotion. For this is the story of a woman whose love touched the heavens and became eternal. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Funimation 3D, Kids and Family Cartoon, to enjoy more colorful legends and heartwarming stories that celebrate the beauty of life, love, and family.